broke. You know, somehow that makes me more spiritual than you because I'm broke. I can't rub two nickels together. Jeff said earlier, though, that broke people can't help broke people. And in my church, when they need money, the plate goes around. Right? And when we had 4 kids at home, I didn't have any money. I learned to thump that plate real loud. You know, thump that plate. Anybody else? I am Scottish, you know. But when you put a silent offering in there with a check, or hundreds or whatever, they don't hear anything in that plate, do they? But it blesses somebody, doesn't it? Don't you want to be blessed to be a blessing? I mean, I'm going to talk about some attitude here. And we've had some great training, have we not? And I know the preachers in the choir, like Chad said, you gave up a beautiful Saturday afternoon to be here. But you have heard from some amazing people today. Man! I'm sitting in the back of the room, I'm taking it in, I'm reading stuff, and I'm writing me some notes down. I probably want to pick them up. And you've heard from some amazing people that are teaching you and telling you exactly what they have done and what they are doing at this present time to be successful. Where do you get that in the world? I mean, I started out as a carpenter, $1.75 an hour, swinging a hammer. That's how I started out in the world. And there was nobody I could go to and say, hey, can you teach me how to build this spiral staircase? I just landed this big contract on this house. Now, I don't know how to build that thing. I've never done one yet. My competitors would have laughed me out of there. You know? They'd have thrown rocks at me like, get out of here, man. Here you've got people that are making good incomes, and here we get in trouble with money, right? Good incomes, teaching you and telling you this is what it takes to do this thing. First of all, you got to know what you want. Everybody know what they want? Yeah. Does everybody know what they want? Yeah. Do you really know what you want? Yeah. Do you really want what you want? Yeah. Do you really, really want what you want? Yeah. That's step one. You got to really want what you want. And the only way to do that is to know what you want. We were looking at what we want last night, weren't we, Dan? We're out there looking at some beautiful cars right down the road down here, and we're trying to open up the handle on all of them. It's 10 o'clock at night, and lo and behold, the door pops open on this big Rolls Royce. I mean, this thing is huge. I mean, it's bigger than my pickup truck. Now, I joked around. I said, you push the button and the truck pops open, and my little Corvette pops out the trunk of that thing, you know. But this thing was, what, $472,000 for an automobile. And what goes through my mind is somebody's going to drive that off the lot. Now, that may not be my cup of tea, or I may not want that car, but somebody's going to buy that car. Why not me if that's what I want? Why not you if that's what you want? Here we go with materialism, right? Oh, well, they're so materialistic. Why not if that's what we want? We're willing to work hard. We feel like we're decent people. We're honest people. We're not cheating anybody. We're not killing anybody. We're not putting filth out there on the airwaves, corrupting the whole society and kids. Right? Are we? No. If we are, we're in the wrong thing. All I know is when it's my time and I'm up there to meet my Maker, I want Him to put that crown on my head like it says in the book. It says, well done, my good and faithful servant. He will wipe away every tear. He will wipe away every tear. And there will be nothing but praise and smiling, and we can't even imagine how awesome it's going to be. That's the big reward. That $470,000 Rolls is a piece of junk compared to heaven. You know? That thing has mink carpet, faux mink, and something in the back. Floorboard. I mean, I got my shoes on. I can feel it in my shoes. I was like, you got to check this out. So the girls come over there. They were going to go somewhere else, and we were going to meet up. I said, you got to check this back of this car out. You know? And I looked at us. We just got an awesome car. It is just a car, right? I mean, it's okay to have things as long as the things don't have you. Y'all heard that? I'm going to speak some stuff out here now. If I offend you, I'll apologize in advance. But sometimes we just need to be slapped around a little bit. I told Mel, I said, we got to get some of that McFarlane for a Mercedes. Shoot, man. Dad was saying, we're not going to go back to our room. We're just going to sleep in this thing tonight, you know? That's just another whole subject there, but you got to know what you want. And I know that's something that's way up there. I'll probably never get one of those cars. Who knows? I might, but that's not my particular thing. But the car we just got is amazing. And it's just we pinch ourselves. We pinch ourselves to realize where we are now versus where we were 10 years ago when we started this. Melanie started. I was still building houses at the time. In 2005, the economy was blowing and going. I had 8 crews running me ragged, 60 to 80 hours a week. Now, we just pinch ourselves. We make money when we sleep. We make money when we eat. We make money when we're at the pool. We make money.
Come on now.
Isn't that what you want? Don't you want to make money when you sleep? Because I say that not to impress you, but to impress upon you. This is your life. This is your life, and this is what you choose to do. Your dreams and these things you want, they're not some crazy fantasy out there. They're your future. They're your future. You are the author of your own book. You get to write the book of your life. Do you realize that? I mean, I'll be 60 years old this year. And it took me a long time to realize I get to write this book. Nobody else writes that book for me. And if they do, shut the page on them. Turn the page and start writing your own. Okay? We still friends? You get to write that, man. You get to write that book. You know, today, I'm proud to be American, man. My parents were from Canada. And my dad moved to the States, and I was the first child in our whole family born in America. And I'm just so proud that my dad came to America, and he was too before he died, man. My dad had an American flag on the back of his pickup truck. And, I mean, I'm glad he imparted that to me. And I told him before he died, I said, I'm just so glad you moved to America and that we ended up in the South. You know, really. Sorry if you're not from the South. It's cold up north, man. It's cold up north. I look at my cousin that's still up there, and it's 30 below zero in Ontario, Canada, and we're nowhere close to that. But today is June the 6th, and 71 years ago, there was a tremendous event that happened in the history of the world. It was called D-Day, when the forces of good took on the forces of evil, and the guys stormed the beach at Normandy. June 6, 1944. They were burning people in ovens because they didn't look like them, they didn't preach like them, they didn't teach like them, they didn't like them. They were burning babies in ovens. And forces of good of the world said, man, we got to do something about this. They're going to be over here burning our babies next. And the guys, they stormed that beach, man. And within 24 hours, 10,000 guys went down. In the first 24 hours, 10,000. I look at that, man. America wasn't the only country involved. It was, you know, Britain and France and the Free French and Canada, New Zealand, Australia. It was the world, but mainly Americans in Omaha Beach took a beating on it that day. They said within the first 2 minutes, a third of the guys that hit that beach were dead. Within the first 2 minutes. The Germans had invented a machine gun that fired 25 bullets a second. That's 15,000 rounds a minute. I mean, just whoa! They said it fired so fast you couldn't even hear the report. It was that fast. It was like ripping cloth. Guys are getting mowed in half, man. They're dropping right and left. They got to go forward. They got to go forward. I get $10 every phone ring. These guys are going forward, though. And it's beyond horrible. I mean, I can't even imagine it. I can't even imagine it, what the guys did. And the two of the guys that survived it, they looked down the beach and they saw a guy that looked like he knew what he was doing. They said he was chewing on a cigar. He was a little bit rotund. They could tell he was a little bit older than them. And there was one general who survived that initial wave. Dutch Coda was his name. And he was barking orders and barking commands. And they said the bullets were flying everywhere. And here's this guy standing up screaming at us, saying there's only two kind of people on this beach. Those that are dead and those that are going to die. If we're going to die, we must but die in there. Let's go get them. And he did. He got them rallied to win. They just stormed it. Stormed those pillboxes with machine guns, killing guys. And I look at that. That's what these guys did. So we would have opportunity 71 years later to get rich. To get rich in America, the greatest place on the planet. Now look at my life. What am I worried about? Somebody's going to laugh at me if I give them a Blitz card? Or they're going to, I got to make some phone calls? You know, Blair, you're pathetic, Blair. Man, let's get real. Let's get our heads on. What are we doing out there in this world, man? What kind of world do you want your kids growing up into? April, they dropped 800,000 people out of the workforce, and they tell us the unemployment's going down. 800,000 people just disappeared. It's like they never even existed. And we're lied to and told the unemployment rate just dropped. Didn't drop. That many people just gave up looking for work. And we're afraid to hand somebody a blitz card because they might say, "You still in one of them things? You know, y'all got that? Like you got something on you? You still in that thing?" Y'all get any of that? We still get that. Me and Mel, we were down at the beach, we were down at the pool, we were having fun, everybody's relaxing. This couple's beside us, they don't know us from Adam, you know. And she says, "What do you guys do?" I said, "Oh, we're in a company called It Works Global. We sell a body wraps. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen." "Oh, is that one of those pyramid schemes?" You know? I said, "Absolutely. I'm one of the pharaohs. Wouldn't you want to be a pharaoh?" You got to get your mind on right. I mean, that's what so many people still think, you know? You can go through the long answer, "No, it's not that. Those are totally illegal," and blah, blah, blah. You go to jail for pyramid scheme. But why? Why? You know? If they're really interested, they would want a blitz card. And guess what? She got a blitz card and a wrap. Because I would just, I'm a pharaoh. It's time to quit worrying about what people think. They're not thinking about you anyway. When it all comes down to it, are they going to pay your bills? Are they going to feed your kids? Are they going to put your mom in a home of her own when she's old and her husband's died or whatever? Are they going to do that for you? Then why are you listening to them? You hear me? Napoleon Hill, before I forget it. This book, Think and Grow Rich. Buy it. Get it. Trust me on that. You might want to write that down. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This book has been responsible for more people becoming millionaires in America and the world today than anything in history. It's a phenomenal book. There's a wealth of information in this book. This man was hired by Andrew Carnegie, Carnegie Hall and all that stuff. Right? Pretty wealthy man, did pretty good in his life. He was an orphan. Father died when he was just a kid. Made it all on his own, like the old thing they talked about. We made it the hard way. We earned it, right? He was hired by Carnegie to do research on the most successful people in America at the time. The Rockefellers, the Vanderbilts, Henry Ford, Thomas Edison. You ever heard of these people? You know? Einstein's. And to do a study on these people. For 20 years he did research and a study. Why are some people so filthy, stinking rich and other people are just dirt poor broke? Why? It's because of what they think, right? It's because of what they think. The rich think different than most of us, or most of how I used to. They think different. They have to. It's all in your mind. He came back after 20 years and he wrote that book, phenomenal book. He said the number one reason, if you see me speak, I'll say this till my dying breath. The number one reason why most people don't succeed is they listen to the wrong people. They take advice from the wrong people. And these aren't people that don't love them. These are people that do love them and think they have their best interest at heart. Their mom, their dad, their aunt, their uncle, whoever. They just don't know what they're talking about. You want to know about it works, you want to talk to somebody that knows about it works. Like the people that we're presenting today. Don't go home from here, you guess, if you're still here, or you're brand new people, and go ask your Aunt Sarah what she thinks because she was in Mary Kay, or she sold baskets, or she had those fancy little smelly candles. They don't know. They don't know what you know right now. But we have so many people, and it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. We have so many people that are fired up about their future, what they can do with their works, and they go talk to their uncle. And what do you think? Oh, no, you don't want to get one of those schemes. You know, those things are a dime a dozen. Here today, gone tomorrow. We've been at this 10 years. We made a consistent, solid paycheck from It Works for 10 years. And now the checks are insane. I mean, whoo! Yeah. We're working on the check that's got 2 commas in it. These numbers they have up here, right? These numbers up here, they're insane. And it's hard to wrap your head around that. I understand that. I was there, man. We worked hard in some other companies. We first got in our first company. We were 34 years old, man. We were going to be rich in a year and retire on the beach and party and smoke left-handed cigarettes, anything we wanted to do. You know? We got started in that company, and we just couldn't make any money, man. We tried hard. We did. We wore out 3 cars. We talked to hundreds and hundreds of people. But we could never make any money. You know, it was just the wrong opportunity, the wrong company. That company had already been around for 30-some years when we got in it. But we learned some good stuff. We met some really awesome people. You know, and it got me to help get my head on straight about my construction career, my construction business. And we joke about it, you know, we're in Nashville or Vanderbilt, Ivy League school here in the South. We got that kind of an education in life, man, in life and people skills. Because we did work so hard at some of these other companies, we never made the financial money, though. We never made it. But it was just like groundwork was being laid, and groundwork was being laid, and groundwork was being laid. And when this It Works thing came across our path through Vicky, it's like we were ready, you know? Melody was ready. You've been digging your foundation. I'm an ex-builder, I'm sorry, but I use this kind of terminology. You've been digging your foundation. Some of you have been pouring your concrete and laying some blocks, getting ready to come out of the ground with this thing, you know? You with me? Those big skyscrapers in New York, man, before they go up 100-something stories, they go down in the ground first. They go way down. And they work and work and work. You don't see anything. And it seems like overnight, right? How many times you've been driving around town and it seems like overnight there's a gas station. Overnight there's a new whatever, you know? That's what you've been doing. You've been digging your foundation. You've been laying some blocks. You're in school. You're in Millionaire school. You're in training. You're ready to take what you've learned and put it to use. I sit in the back of the room and I kind of kid Melinda and Brooke. I said, man, you girls ruin my mascara back here bad, you know? Every time I hear those stories, though, it just tugs my heart, man. It just, makes me weep emotional tears of joy for these people that have been helped so much because we had a little part in passing that torch, passing that baton to them. To hear Brooke and Jay talk about how they cried themselves to sleep at night. Had a little baby, couldn't even feed their baby, man. And now you look at them and you go, wow, they sure were lucky. They saw opportunity. They were desperate for opportunity. And I'm not wishing bad on anybody, but sometimes you have to have something that just knocks you off your feet and humbles you before you open up and realize all I needed was a chance. And this crazy rap thing is my chance. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? This is your chance. This is your shot. I know you're not lazy or you wouldn't be here today. I know you're more intelligent than most people out here because you're here and every one of you had people that are going to be here who aren't. Is that not true? I mean, it's just the way it is. If I know the rules, I can play the game. And if I play the game long enough, hopefully I can master it and I can win the game. Don't you want to win? Don't you want to win? You will win by getting up when you get knocked down. You will get up. You will look up. Because if you can look up, you can get up and you will keep going. And you will keep going. And you will keep going. And then after a while, people realize, wow, they were serious. Blair and Melody, we have a great time. We love to have fun. We joke around a lot. And I kid a lot too. But I am definitely serious about It Works Global and what we're doing and what is our mission. It's hard to believe it. This could be your calling. Not everybody was destined to preach from a platform, but they were destined to be fundings, kingdom stewards and funders for the kingdom. It takes money. Yes. It takes money. Don't listen to that baloney about too much money is evil and wrong, and oh man, those rich people are weird. Money just reveals who you really are. Don't you want to find out who you really are? That's all it does. It just reveals who you really are. You put money in evil people's hands, it'll do terrible evil. It's just a tool. You put it in good people's hands, there'll be great things done. Christians first, hospitals, adopted children to be fed, Appalachian kids will have shoes on their feet and a you were dared to risk and to dream and put yourself out there and go through some ridicule and go through some disappointment and frustration. You talk about, wow, what's he talking about? You know, Blair and Mill get frustrated, disappointed. Yeah. We still go through some of that. We go through the same things. We just choose not to let it derail us.
Right.
You want to get motivated? Look at your checkbook. You need motivation. People ask, how do you motivate people? How do you stay motivated? Look at your checkbook. Look at the balance on that statement. Are you motivated or not? It's like, oh, I don't like to do that. It depresses me. Yeah, it depresses you. You need to get to work. That 4-letter word. There's no secret to this thing. You've heard all kinds of great information, all kinds of different ways to do this. You just got to do it. Just get out there. Get busy. Get busy. Just press it out. Make some mistakes. So what? We made them all. I know better and I still make them. In the long run, who cares? Who cares? It's your family. It's your legacy. You know, what are you going to have for your great-great-grandkids? I may not even know mine, but they're going to be glad that we were on the planet. Those people in America don't even know who their great-great-grandparents were. Do you hear me? Don't you want to be that one? Oh, yeah, that was my great-great-grandma. She set this all up for us. That's what we're doing here. We were looking around the room. I mean, people are here from everywhere. How many of you came from over 100 miles to get here? Lots of hands. I mean, lots of hands. You know, 200 miles. How many people over 200 miles? Because you're hungry. Because you were hungry, right? 300 miles. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 300 miles. These people gave up the Saturday thing. 300 miles. One of them was on stage here a little while ago. Jen came from Indiana to share with you guys. Because they're hungry, man. You got to be hungry in this world. So it goes back to, I hope today, this June 6th, is your D-Day. And it's not as serious as people cutting me in half with machine guns. I understand that. I fully understand that, man. But this is serious about your financial future. And people around you, their financial future. Because the world has shifted. I'm from a different generation. I realize that. But my generation was taught, and we heard this before too. You go to school, you do good in school, you get good grades, you get a good education, you get a good J-O-B, right? You work hard, you keep your nose clean, right? And you'll succeed in life. Bull. It's just a crock of bull. That worked 40 years ago. It don't work anymore. The rules have totally changed, but nobody bothered to tell you that the rules have changed. And they're still spitting out of universities all over America, teaching them that same failure, that same formula for failure. We talk to people all the time, all over America. We talk to people all over America, I'm telling you, all over America, man. You think, man, if I'd just been an anesthesiologist, they got it made. They make the big bucks. If I'd just been an endodontist, yeah. I should have been an endodontist. What was I doing being a nurse? God, what was I thinking? You know, I should have been whatever versus what I am now. Okay? Y'all with me on that? People think this all over America. We talk to them. We know them. We got thousands in our group all over. They're all in that same boat. They're all broke at different levels. You know, you can make $1 million a year and still be broke. Because most people have no wisdom to go with that money, just go out and spend it all, thinking it'll never stop. We're so blessed and fortunate that we have an owner of this company called Mark Pentecost, and his goal is to help people get debt-free. I mean, what a goal, man. Is that not admirable or what? How many people can you help get debt-free? You got to get yourself debt-free first. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome feeling to sleep in a house you don't have a payment on. It's awesome to drive a car. We joke and say we have a permanent smile on our face. Just why these people smile all the time? We have no payments. We have no debt. You want to try it? Trust me on that. Just write that down. I want to be debt free. How many's going on a cruise? That's weak. How many's going on a cruise? How many's going to be on a cruise? You got to have that same roar. Did you feel the energy? Did you feel the electricity from you guys? You got to have that same roar tomorrow. Tomorrow at lunch and Monday at 8, when it's not as easy to be so fired up when you're around all of us crazies. You with me? That's the secret. That's one of the rules. You got to find a way to instill that in you, to carry that with you, that inspiration. I am inspired to help thousands more become debt-free. That inspires me. That inspires Melody. She hasn't slept at home probably half the night. She's been on the road since conference. We're gone. She's gone a lot more than I am. I got to stay home and hold down the fort sometimes. We take advantage of some of our friends and watch our house and our animals, and that's a lot. What inspires you? That's what's really important. You might want to write this down before I even say this. Are you living up to your full potential doing what you're doing right now? Are you living up to your full potential doing what you're doing right now? If not, why are you doing that? Why are you still doing that? I understand you got to have money. I'm not telling you to go out and quit your job tomorrow or Monday. I want you to think. I want you to think. They're not teaching kids how to think anymore. You have to be able to realize things that happen, and then there's a result at the end of action. There's consequences for action. And by doing the actions right now that are going to get me where I want to go. Right? First, where do I want to go? Yes, that's what I want. That's where I want to go. Now, what am I doing right now that's helping me get there? Does that make sense? You got to learn to ask yourself these questions, these uncomfortable questions. Who is Mrs. Uncomfortable? You have to learn to ask yourself these questions when you find yourself sucked into the Bachelorette or whatever it is that going to help me get that dream home? No. I mean, Mel likes these shows. She didn't watch them. She watches them at 3 and 4 in the morning. You know? She doesn't use prime business building time to watch that stuff on TV. You with me? You learn to change some things around. Because what is truly important to you? That's what we're all about. What is really important to you? And can you keep your focus? You know, this whole cruise promotion is phenomenal, man. It's going to be, you don't want to miss that boat, I'm telling you. It's like, wow. But what are you going to do these next 3 months? It's going to make sure you get there. And Mark set it up to where everybody can win at this. It's for everybody. I love that. I mean, as the company's gotten larger, it's harder to do that. How can you include everybody still kind of thing, you know? This does. This gives you your shot to earn that right too. And this party we're going to throw, man, it's going to be like, wow. You don't want to miss that either, just to say you were there, right? All right, you know what you want. If you don't, that's your homework assignment. You go out in this world and figure out what you want. It doesn't have to be material. You know, a lot of times it starts out that way, but then the further you go, the further you see. And, you know, I always tell you all the time, how many people can you fit in your heart? Because the only way you're going to make $1 million a year at this is to fit a lot of people into your heart. Okay? And I guarantee you can fit more people in your heart right now. I set a goal last year coming out of conference. I was going to personally call everybody in our whole group that promoted diamond or above. I don't know what I was thinking, but man, some of them on my 28th level. 32nd level that just went diamond. We never said diamond on any of that. But I call them, and they're just blown away that I would take the time to call them and congratulate them. Some of them don't even know who I am, and that's humbling, huh? Yeah, okay. And they're going to call back an hour later, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I didn't know who you were. I didn't know you called me, you know. Don't you want to have that? You can do it for the ones that earn away on the cruise. Congratulatory. It doesn't have to be 200 some diamonds and above in a month. It took me 2 weeks last month. How everybody? I love it. I love it. Don't you want that? Figure out what you really want. That's my #1 message. Figure out what you really, really want. And then don't let anybody stop you from that. You know, if the dream is big enough, the facts don't count. If the dream is big enough, the facts don't count. That's been written in books, and it's been put in movies, and it's put in several different things, but it all comes down to all these amazing people. Chad talked about Walt Disney. Walt Disney said, if I've got a new idea, I'll go out and ask 100 people, and if I get 99, you're crazy, or that won't work. He says, I know I'm on the right track. You know? Because most people can't see around the corner. Most of us cannot see around the corner. You have to know what's around that corner for you. Tell yourself that I'm not going to let this Saturday, this awesome Saturday event with these awesome people pouring into me and my life and my team go to waste. that this will be my financial D-Day. And I'm going to storm that beach for my future and for my family and for my kids because I'm worth it. My kids are worth it. My grandkids are worth it. I'm going to put myself at risk to go down. And the more I go down, I will get back up and I will keep going and nothing's going to stop me ever. Right? I love you.